and welcome. Thank you for watching Pamazukwa TV Online. My name is Enoch Noel. As we promised our fans and our supporters in the previous communication, we mentioned that we will be looking for innovators, entrepreneurs, creators, and business people, because that's what moves our world in the right direction. So today we got a guest. We have a guest in our studio, Mr. Edison Nyerere, or they call him Nyerere. We are honored to have him at Pamazukwa TV Online, and we hope our fans and our supporters will enjoy it. Mr. Edison, welcome to Pamazukwa TV Online.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very glad to be here.
Anyways, in a few, let me just give a short biography or short introduction to Mr. Edison. Mr. Edison is an author. When we talk of an author, we don't talk about someone who wrote a novel or a newspaper, but he's an author. He has written 4 books. I will come back on those 4 books in a few minutes. Edison is a U.S. military graduate. Edison has graduated from the university in Colorado in business administration. So I think Mr. Edison, he is a ripple effect of the 21st century younger people who are graduating from school, who have high qualifications, but they are unable to find a jobs, or others are depending on government or not-for-profit organization to give them jobs. So I think Mr. Edison, as a young person, he is demonstrating what the 21st century young people can be. Among of the books he wrote, he has written 4 books, but what I have seen on Amazon, it's only 2, and maybe he will tell us where the other ones are, or they are coming soon. We will get all those from him. The first one I saw was the surviving struggle of refugee, because he lived in a refugee camp. Actually, he lived in a refugee camp where he lived as well. So the book would encourage people to go and look for the surviving struggle of refugees, or the life of refugees in refugee camps. And actually, I was lucky to find the second one, Unlocking the Secret to Lasting Happiness. So, if you were trying to make a family, or you are trying to get married or something, you need to get this book so that you can be able to, get the points, how your new family can get lasting happiness. And the last one, which myself I got a copy, is the Wisha Kingdom, which tell us the story of the Banyabwisha people, and then the kingdom, the chiefs, and so forth on. Mr. Edison, what you've done as a younger person, it's such inspiring. I am extraordinarily honored to host you at Pamazukwa TV Online, and I am so glad that in the 21st century there is someone who can do such things as a young, and this is a great demonstration of how the younger generation can be able to be innovative, creative, entrepreneur, and do business. Mr. Edison, as I mentioned, I saw 3 books. What is the last book that I didn't find? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
The 4th book is called the Mastering the Keys of Flourishing. It's about business, about how you can start a business from nothing to something. It also gives different stories from people who came like us, the refugees, people who started from nothing and later they became billionaires. It also gives out how you can have a successful life, how you have to have mission and vision. Because I saw like many people in my community after completing high school, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do next.
Right.
And I thought it's better for me to write a book which is gonna be guiding them what they can do, how can they find their purpose and vision so that they can be more successful in their life.
Excellent. So as I mentioned, you are such a real effect for the 21st century young people who are really unlocking the potential, and we would just encourage the people who are watching Pambazuka TV Online. And actually, I forgot you are also the founder of a Desert TV Online, which we will pin it down at Pambazuka TV Online so that people can go and support you and watch. Because I've watched some of your episodes, they are so great and they are so encouraging. So I'll just encourage our fans, our supporters to go and watch a Desert TV and enjoy what you have there. So there, our discussion starts. Edson, our background. You've already written 4 books so far. You are one of the few people I know who have written the books, especially writing I've seen some papers on the struggling refugee camps or, something related to that. But what has motivated you write up to 4 books as a younger person? Because the younger, when you graduate, you have your degree, you expect to get a very great a good paying job. You don't go anywhere else. So what motivated you to go? The first one, you wrote the first book, the second book, and then the third one, then the fourth one, and then we are expecting the fifth one. So what motivated you to keep moving forward?
Yeah, there are many things which keeps on motivating me in things that I do. Number one, my history itself is a very good motivator for me because I believe even if you go to the university, you get degrees. The first important degree that you can ever get is a degree about your life experience. So
Right.
I've been in the life situation which is not good. I have a background, a refugee's background, and through all this background, it motivates me. I always think like I have to do something for my community. I know I cannot talk about all the 4 books because it's like too
Right.
much things,
Right.
but you're going to allow me for today to be focusing only on one book, which is
Right. Yeah.
The History of Buisha Chiefdom. The book is
Right.
here. So
Yeah.
we're going to leave the 3 other books.
Yeah.
So talking about the book, which is called The History of Buisha Chiefdom.
Mhm.
Many people do ask me why I chose to write about this topic, the history of Buisha Chiefdom. But my answer is one. Before I became who I am right now, I was a Munyabwisha as an African. So I cannot take a step of writing other books before writing the book which talks about me, which explain who I am. Thirdly, many people in my community, they don't know who they are. They already lost their identity. And unfortunately, even people outside of the community, they also confuses the Banyabwisha. So
Yep.
it's a very big problem when you don't know who you are, then even somebody else gives you different names of which you are not. Then we as the young people, because we don't know who we are, we also lost the direction. Let me tell you, when you know your history, it gives you a strong foundation for the future. So before you understand your history, it's very hard for you to know even where you're going. And the person who doesn't know his history, he or she is like a person who doesn't know his father. So it's a big problem when you don't know your father, no matter maybe if your father died or not. But it's always better as a person to know who are your parents. So it's better for we the young people to come back and start reading about our history. That's when we shall have a clear path and a clear direction in the future.
Excellent explanation. And yeah, I remember back in 2006, I took a trip to Haiti with a group of people after the earthquake. You know, Haiti is one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere. And I was there, just black people. But when I saw the black people and I tried to, know, because as you mentioned, identity, knowing your background, knowing your origin, I think it's very important. So I try to interact with some of them. I say, guys, so you are in Haiti. What's going on? Where are you guys from? Some they say we are from Congo. Others, oh no, they told me, oh, our forefathers told us that we are from Congo. Others we are from West Africa and so forth. But there are others that I talked to. They didn't even want to mention that they are originally from Africa. So that's why losing identity, it's one of the risk, or it's one of the total loss that can ever happen. So back to your history, back to your book and what you mentioned. One said that if you want to hide wealth or money or something important, to hide it to African, put it in the book. So tell me, I'm sure you're aware of this proverb or this expression. How in your community, because you want to bring awareness to the community surrounding us, our community members, even our friends, different kind of friends and so forth. So how was it received, or how is the reaction after you published this book today, especially to our own community? How was it received, or how is it welcomed?
Of course, we live in a community where many people don't like reading books, which is a very big problem, because if you don't like reading books, then it's very hard for you also to learn, because in books, that's where you find a lot of knowledge which can
Right.
help you.
Yeah.
So let me say, I had a different perspective before writing this book.
Yeah.
But when I published it, I got also some positive feedback from different people.
Right.
However, we still need more people to keep on reading our history, because this book was not written to stay on Amazon or maybe to stay just with me. It was written for you and other people to read it. So
Right.
it does not make any sense if I can write a book and people are not reading it, and it doesn't give any value.
Right.
So we need to change our mentality. We need to change our mindset. So we don't have to take ourselves like we are living in 100 years ago. We need to go the way the world is going.
Right.
That's when we shall cope up because the world is going on a very fast pace. So our community should also read their history. The young people should also read their history, because it's very essential for them to know who they are. So I know they don't like reading, but it's better for them to start reading and know more about themselves.
Excellent. Yeah. My recent interview with Jackson, he is also a university graduate. He's employed by the Canadian government, but he's also in a business. So I asked him that you have a good job, a good paying job. You are paid by the government. Why did you decide to go in a business? He said, you know what? Jobs, employment may disappear. So if you're not creative, if you didn't create something else to help support you in another way, then you're going to be stuck. So that's why you are right, especially the generation of the 21st century. They need to wake up. They need to wake up, go buy the book. I saw it from Amazon, except it took me a long time to get it, but I attempted like 3 times, and finally I got it, and I'm reading it and I'm enjoying it. it's good idea, because when you know your background, you know your history, you know your origin, you're not going to be lost. You're going to know more. So that's why we once again call upon all of those. I'm sure we normally have the high percentage of people who watch our videos. They are under 30th, which is great. So we encourage all of those to go and get the book, Know Your Story. It will help you in the journey of the life. So we know that our people sometimes don't like to read the book, but the book contains wealth, contains any support, it contains any information you want. It can be found in a box. I know it wasn't easy as someone who immigrated from refugee camp to United States. I had the same experience when I immigrated in Canada back in 2006. And, so many people, when they get here, they feel comfortable. You get a job, you are paid, and that's it. But Edison, to be honest with you, are such a role model, not only to the African younger people, not only to African community, I'm sure to the entire world. Because as we mentioned, having been graduated from university with a degree, having been graduated from a US military, having been written 4 books, having been running your TV show, you are such a great role model. For that, we call upon all the youth here in the West, in Africa, in the North, in the South, in the entire world, to take an example, to come out of the comfort zone so they can be able to be like you. Because I'm sure at the younger age, having been accomplished that, it is such an inspiring, it is such an extraordinary work, which can't be achieved by any normal human being. Sometimes when I look at everything, I think maybe you're a genius. Because if you're not a genius, man, it's crazy. Especially like when you immigrate in a new country, you are trying to get acclimatized to the new culture, to the new thing. Everything's new. So having been achieved such things in this, I call it a short time, it is such a great honor. But tell us too, because I'm sure it wasn't easy. What was the challenge? What were the challenges through, writing this book? We're going to try to talk about this book. Then we're going to try to bring you again, share with us so that you can be inspired and so that you can go and, not only writing books, but open a business, become creative of something and so on. Share with us, what are the challenges did you face through writing this book?
Of course, writing books, more especially on the topic about bush chiefdom, you experience a lot of challenges. One of the challenges that I encountered was to get enough information that I needed, because our history is not written, is not documented on internet, and not many people written it in books. So it was hard for me to get all the necessary information that I wanted. Secondly, there is the war in DRC, North Kivu. And many times I wanted to connect with people on the ground, communicating with them. But because of the war, sometimes it was hard for me to get in touch with the people on the ground whom I knew that they have all the information.
Right.
But I kept on trying many times until I got all the information that I wanted. Lastly, when I was writing about this book, I started questioning myself if I'm the right person to write this information. But unfortunately, I started thinking of the people around me, the people whom I know that they have enough information, the people whom I think that they have the capability of writing on this topic. But unfortunately, none of these people were even thinking about this topic. Then I was like, I must do something. I must take an initiative, no matter what, no matter how people will be thinking about it. I must do something because I love my community. And I thought it's better for me to write about my history, because even the small history written about Buisha,
Yeah.
it's just a manipulated history. It's a
Right.
biased history. So you don't get the right information about the Buisha society. That's why I was like, me, as a Munyabwisha, I can write a better history than anybody else, because I know myself, I know my people than anybody else. So that's how I came to take a conclusion of writing this book called The History of Buisha Chiefdom.
Right. Yeah. So I know, especially sometimes when you know that the people around us or the community, they don't like reading books or they don't want to know about them. So it's kind of discouraging. But yeah, we once again congratulated you for having achieved all those, because as I mentioned, you are one of the, I don't know anyone who had, maybe they might be there, but the people that I know, I've never had anyone written about such a topic, because it's it's so it's kind of challenging, but that's a great idea. So, Mr. Edison, this is gonna be our first episode, but we're gonna be needing you because, as I said, a role model, champion, and someone who is inspiring others. We'll be keep inviting you at Pambazuka TV so you can share with us, because our aim is to reach those that sometimes they go unrecognized, sometimes the people don't know what's going on. So we will be inviting you so that you can keep sharing with us, about all the books and about everything. So now you are a content creator at Edison TV online. You have your qualification as a US military. You hold your degree in business administration from University of in Colorado. You also have 4 books in your hands. You are rich, right? You are the next billionaire. We wish you good luck. However, many younger people like you, like me, they graduated either from high school or from university or from college or from anywhere. They are just there waiting. There is nothing there. Which message of hope or which message of encouragement can you give them, inspire them so that they can go ahead and be creative for create something and go ahead, please.
Okay. One of the messages that I can give the people, most especially the young people, is to grab the opportunities available. There is a lot of opportunities outside here, but many people are not using all these opportunities.
Right.
But if you don't grab these opportunities right now, let me tell you, in 50 years, you will be regretting. Go ask your parents, right? When they were young like you, they also had big dreams like you. They thought they would be president. They thought they would be billionaires. They thought they would be reaching universities, masters, all those. But they didn't achieve what they dreamed about. And they wish if they were to be young like you, so that they can use the opportunities available. So it's time now to do whichever it feels like. Do not wait for tomorrow. Whichever you think about, do it right now, because tomorrow does never exist. Secondly, you need to change your mindset. Whichever we do, whichever happens in your life, because of your mindset, the choice that you always make in your life.
Yeah.
So there is a saying that changing someone's mindset is very expensive than building a very expensive and a big city. And the person who never changed his mindset, even if he built a very nice and big city, he can easily destroy it within one day.
Right.
So before you do anything, if you need to build a lasting foundation, if you need to reach far away, you need to change your mindset. You also need to go outside of your comfort zone. You don't have to stay with your brother every day. You don't need to stay with your community members every day. because maybe you are sharing alcohol, because maybe you know
Yeah.
each other, because maybe you have the secrets of sharing ladies, you know, all those stories. You need to go outside of the comfort zone,
Yeah.
because when you only stay with your community members, you are likely to have the same kind of thinking. The
Yeah.
thinking capacity is the same.
Yeah.
But when you go behind, I mean, when you go beyond your comfort zone, then you explore more, you learn from
Mhm.
other people, then your brain and your understanding become broadens. Lastly, to the young people, they need to take education serious. I came to realize that most of the young people in my community, though they don't like education anymore.
Yeah.
Even those people who tries to go to school, they think high school is the end.
Yeah.
But let me tell you,
Yeah.
if you only completed high school and you think you are educated, to me, you are nothing.
Yeah,
You are
that's true.
nothing
Yeah.
completely.
Mhm.
Ask somebody who completed high school what they studied.
Yeah.
Because if somebody studied, if a doctor, if somebody who studied, if he's a doctor, he
Right.
will tell you, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
A nurse, he will say, I studied nursing.
Mhm.
Somebody who studied computer science will tell you, I studied computer science.
Yeah.
Now, what did somebody who completed high school study? Nothing completely. So you need to think beyond high school. Our community cannot reach anywhere before we value education. Education is the only way, is the only weapon that can be used to change our community. We also need to love each other. We need to work together as community members. In my community, we think individually. Everybody thinks only about him or herself.
Yeah.
But there isn't any community that can succeed, that can prosper when people are only thinking about themselves. We need to think beyond ourselves. We need to think beyond our own family, but we think our community. That's when we can prosper. That's when our community can reach far away beyond our understanding. Otherwise, if we just keep on the way our communities is right now, we are going nowhere and we shall not even reach nowhere.
Great, Mr. Edison. I once again appreciate you for your time. This will be uh, we will pin your books on our channel and on your channel as well, because we want to make sure each and everyone grab the copy of either one of your books. And we appreciate for such inspiring messages, because as we said, we have, like I keep talking to different young people and the old people. You are one of the first young person I've ever seen having been achieved at all those at the younger age. So once again, we wanted to say thank you for accepting our invitation on Pambazuka TV Online. We would like to end here, but we'll try to schedule for the uh, part 2, part 3, until we inspire those youth out there who are struggling, finding their passion, finding what to do, finding it's so hard to find employment and so on. We say thank you so much for taking your time. This was Pambazuka TV on. This was Enoch at Pambazuka TV Online, and Edison TV will be. This video will be posted there too. We want to say thank you, and we wanted to wish you to keep writing more books so that you can keep getting inspired and getting more information, so that we can be rich in the process. Thank you so much, and have a good evening. Okay.
All right, thank you so much. It was a very nice to communicate with you, and I know it was a very nice conversation with you. Anytime if you need me, I'm available. My biggest dream is to change people's mindset, to be positive minded, and also think about their future and their community. I'm very sure we shall reach this one. We all work together. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you much, and have a good night. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. you.